In for us, leading us off. Thank you, Matt, as always. We appreciate that. Let's continue our conversation now about the potential unsealing of portions of that affidavit with criminal defense attorney Bob Bianchi and former federal prosecutor Joe Moreno. Joe, let me begin with you. I want to share what the DOJ has said about the paperwork from today. Again, that's tied to the August 5th search. Quote, the United States submits that there is good cause for the search because the integrity of the ongoing investigation might be compromised and evidence might be destroyed. Okay, that's their argument, and it would make sense that that would be their posture. But given the public's incredibly high interest in this, I'm not sure that will hold up. What do you think?
Kevin, that's the playbook. I mean, the Justice Department basically has to say that. They have to give this impression that they're building a criminal case. They can kind of, dangle out there that this could go in some serious directions, and therefore the evidence has to be protected at all costs. They don't care so much about the transparency. Frankly, that's not their job, right? Their job is the legal case. So they're going to make that argument. And normally that would carry the day. Normally that would be the final word. So the fact that Judge Reinhardt has gone so far as to say, sorry, at least some of this affidavit will see the light of the day, that alone is a pretty amazing development in a case that's already unprecedented.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Bob, before I bring you in, I want to share a bite from Maureen O'Connell, former FBI special agent. Very interesting take on her belief that the DOJ may have been a little bit over its skis on this one. Listen to this.
When I look at the totality of the situation here, I really think when we talk about spirited conversations going on for a couple of weeks and DOJ, it seems to me that DOJ is the heavy in this situation, that they were trying to push the Bureau to do this warrant. They were trying to push the Bureau to really hit this situation hard. And my guess would be that the Bureau was the one going against the DOJ in this particular situation, because when you consider which entity has more to lose, the FBI clearly has much more to lose from this situation.
I just would say right from the outset, Bob, she nailed it. What do you say?
Respectfully, I'm not really sure what she's saying from an investigative standpoint. As a prosecutor who has prepared and issued many warrants before, we don't know what's in this affidavit. So I don't know how anybody could make that kind of assessment at this point in time. The fact of the matter is, and I happen to agree, that never is information from a warrant or an affidavit ever released in any case, in state court, in federal court, in county court. This has been an unprecedented move by this judge to even allow some of it to be redacted. I would suspect we're not going to get any data or information with respect to sources and informants and things of that nature. In fact, interestingly, the Trump team did not argue in court. They're making a lot of public statements, but they did not put a position on the record in the courtroom. So you may very well find out the information is going to be given. It's going to be given so it doesn't compromise the investigation. It could be things like what DOJ did to try to get the records, how many subpoenas went out, things of that nature. But how anybody can say anybody's over their skis when they haven't seen the affidavit, to me, is a little bit reckless.
I'll tell you how they can say it, though, Bob. The fact is, we're talking about a judge who obviously should have recused himself from this entire exercise. We're talking about a DOJ, which has, not just the DOJ, but the FBI, which have had on numerous occasions made decisive, let's just say, cases against certain individuals that I felt like certainly, and I think it could be argued successfully so, that they were heavy-handed. And the fact is, who knows what's in this affidavit? You're right about that. But, Joe, let me bring you back into the conversation. We don't know what's in the affidavit, but we do know this. Here's a judge that probably should have recused himself that found enough in it. And given, again, the incredibly high public interest in this, I think the judge is doing the right thing by at least examining the possibility that, yes, maybe we should, yes, redactions, I'll grant you that, but maybe something should be let out to the public. In about 30 seconds, what do you got?
Kevin, I mean, I get Bob's point that we're maybe a little over our skis because we don't really know what's in here. Here's my take. The DOJ is not protecting their super strong case. The DOJ has a weak case. They don't want this affidavit to go out because this is nothing more than a dispute over records. They overplayed the classified angle of this, and the combination of the overbreadth of the warrant, the selective leak about the nuclear secrets, which you don't do when you have a strong case, and frankly is preposterous, and now the sort of talking points that, okay, it's not so much about classified documents anymore, it's about presidential records. I tell you, that all signals to me that they're not protecting a strong case. They're protecting a case that's embarrassingly weak, and they don't want to be embarrassed when this affidavit comes out.
Bob, 15 seconds. Put a cap on it for us.
Yeah, I think the judge is going to allow some of the information to come out. In the end of the day, we're going to find out what this affidavit says, one way or the other, whether it's a strong case or a weak case. We'll wait and see what happens, but I think the judge made the right decision.
Can't wait to have you guys back. Two of the very best out there, Joe Moreno and my friend Bob Bianchi. Gents, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
A top executive at former President